Jamie, I wanted to ask you, since we've talked about it over the past few weeks, leading up to it, and we haven't been able to talk about it. So what are your opinions on the People versus O.J. Simpson, the American crime story?
Oh, yeah, 2 episodes in. I like it. I got into a kind of a tit-a-tat. I never, when somebody, I rarely, comment on Facebook posts, but somebody was, commenting about how much they love the series. And then everybody else was agreeing, and then one person came in and said, it's stupid, it's the most uninteresting court case in history, which shows you what a dunce they are to begin with. And then they said something like, it's just a shallow ABC movie of the week. And so I jumped in. And I said, well, and I made a case for, how O.J. is really about more than O.J., and how it opens up a whole thing with larger themes that we're still dealing with today. And he said, what larger themes are those? And that's when he said, this is shallow as an ABC TV movie of the week. So I listed the larger themes, whether it be the racial divide, whether it be what makes a celebrity nowadays. There's a lot of stuff, from reality TV to the belittlement of the judicial system, where a whole smarminess came out of that whole experience. So
media
coverage.
I
said I just listed 4 or 5 themes that are in the story, and most stories would be fortunate just to have one theme. And I said, in your whole criticism about it being akin to a shallow ABC movie of the week, I said the last ABC movie aired last week, and it was Richard Dreyfuss as Bernie Madoff. So that wasn't a grade A effort, but it's not the low-grade dreck that you're trying to compare it to. TV has changed a bit, if you haven't noticed. So, and he didn't respond. So I guess maybe I won the argument.
I think so.
It's really, a couple of years ago, I would have said this wouldn't have worked, but 2 episodes in, I find it riveting. Absolutely riveting. I mean,
it's good.
But I didn't.
It's the kind of thing that should have been out now. I mean, in the immediate wake of the trial, it wouldn't have been as good. There wouldn't have been as much perspective on what it all kind of meant.
Right.
And there's still the Ryan Murphy touches of, silly black comedy. And I saw it with the whole Faye Resnick part of the first episode. Of oh God, they beat it, when they were talking in the funeral, in the viewing, kind of the catty stuff, and that's Ryan Murphy. But Ryan Murphy, directed it really well. That premiere episode, I thought, and I thought Cuba Gooding Jr. was very good in the second episode as well.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I like Cuba Gooding Jr. in it. I'm surprised because, for me, when I heard that he was cast as O.J., there's just something about it that I was like, I don't know, is that going to work? But he makes it work really well, and I really liked the second episode that was just the Bronco chase. I thought that deserved an episode on its own, and so I'm glad they did that. And
no, of course.
John Travolta is quite weird in it. He's like a walking waxwork in some ways.
Yeah.
And, odd sort of, dandyish sort of cadence to his talk. But that's about the only off-putting thing in it for me. I really like Sarah Paulson too as
Marsha. Great cast. Yeah. I mean, even you turn around, there's Bruce Greenwood, who's always solid in everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And then we still have Nathan Lane playing F. Lee Bailey, and we got some great cast in there. And I think it's going to bring up a lot of points about the trial that people didn't realize, like how close Cochran and Darden actually were, and how how Cochran by turns tried to watch out for Darden's back, even though he was on the opposing bench, and also tried to humiliate him. so he could win the case.
That's interesting. That's going to be a really fascinating part of it because, I read the book, but I would, to see it dramatized will be completely different. And by the way, I have to say this: Courtney B. Vance as Cochran is just amazing. I think he's might be my favorite performance in the whole thing so far. So I'm really enjoying it, and I like the Madoff thing too. I thought that was good. I
didn't get to see that.
I liked seeing Richard Dreyfuss in a meaty role for once, and I thought they did a really good job of dramatizing that in a relatively short period of time. 3 hours.
Well, and we still got another Bernie Madoff movie coming out on HBO. It's the one that Barry Levinson directed with De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's another big prestige pick for HBO.